Where we at? Great morning, y'all. Great morning, great morning, great morning, great people. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to A Word in the Wilderness. I hope y'all are doing well and that today is going fantastic for you. Y'all know I'm trying something different, okay? I'm trying something different this morning. Normally we do a word in the wilderness in the evening time, but I wanted to try it in the daytime, and then we gonna follow it up with this morning's message and see what Spirit and them want to talk about. Okay, so we doing a word in the wilderness, y'all. We are on Exodus 15 and 16 today. Um, Child, look, the Israelites them just came through the Red Sea. Of course, all the Egyptians are now gone to glory, okay, because they didn't want to listen. Child, they didn't want to listen. They did not want to listen. So, Patrick God had a big flex on them. Okay, he like, what? I know, child. Look, I don't be wanting to mess with daddy, child. I ain't got time to play around with him. So the Egyptians named Pharaoh named child, that heart Pharaoh had, I just don't even know. But anyway, we are talking about Exodus chapters 15 and 16 today. I hope y'all have had a fantastic weekend. I hope your week started off great. This is new for me. I wanted to see how it's gonna feel, y'all, how it's gonna go if I come on live in the mornings and do because I'm going to do this morning's message regardless. We'll do this right after we get done with chapters 15 and 16. We're talking about a song of deliverance and manna and quail from heaven. Won't the Lord provide and will all the time? Okay, so we're going through Exodus chapter 15 and 16 this morning, and then we're going to follow that up with a word from Spirit Nim. Okay, so I'm gonna tap in and see what we got in the cards, what the message is for this morning, what we need to know. Okay, so all let's do it. I'm still trying to figure out the times, y'all. I'm still trying to figure out the timing for what time I want to do this. I was just like, let me go ahead since it was right at 9 o'clock. I said, let me just go ahead and start for today and see how I felt about 9 o'clock. So it's like time trials, time to go to trial. Not Mr. Biggs in the not in the oh, okay, not Mr. Big. Talking about the not that kind. Okay, I'm back. Not that kind. Let me just tell you right now. Okay, welcome. If you are new, welcome to the community. We are so happy and so grateful that you are here. But let me tell you something right now. Okay. If you're looking for a regular schmegular old Bible study, this ain't that. Okay. We do things a little different on this side of the street. Okay. So if you got some religiosity in your spirituals, we ain't here for that. Okay, we is here to discuss the word, the Lord, and build relationship, and that's it. Okay, so I be having to tell folks because sometimes I know, but if I don't tell them, then they're not gonna know when they hear me say something that be cray crayness. They're gonna be like, wait, she reading the word, and is Patrick? I know my heart. Okay, he know my heart, so he know how I do. So I just need to be telling the new people now because sometimes in the morning time, or sometimes if you knew you being tapped in over here and you don't have no understanding. All to do it, let's get to it. Exodus 15, a song of deliverance, a song of deliverance. Okay, so of course, like I said, they did that. Father God told them to come in, thank you, Lord, and give and let the firstborn, like they have to dedicate all their firstborn children, as well as the sheep, even the little sheep nim, the everybody, the first offspring to be born of both humans and animals belong to the Lord. So we went through that. Padre God took them through a wilderness detour. Okay, in Israel, when he was taking them out, he didn't take them straight to the Red Sea. He took them all kinds of ways just in case, because he said, child, if they go straight, then they was gonna have to fight, and he didn't want them to have to do that. So then the Egyptians pursued Israel, of course, and then Moses told the people, don't be afraid, just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. I'm telling you right now, Padre God is he finna get ready to rescue some folks, okay? Myself included. Receive it, okay? So he finna get ready to rescue the Israelites. Moses gonna part the Red Sea, and now they on the other side, okay? They on the other side. And so they finna sing a song of what? Deliverance, because they have been what? Rescued. Okay, so all to do it, let's get to it. Exodus 15 what's this in 16? And so, yeah, we're gonna do 16 as well. And so then we'll get a message from Spirit Nim. Oh, let's do it. A song of deliverance. Then Moses and the people of Israel sang this song to the Lord. I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. He has hurled both horse and rider into the sea. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has given me victory. This is my God, and I will praise him and will and do. Okay. My Father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a warrior. Yahweh is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and army he has hurled into the sea. The finest of Pharaoh's officers are drowned in the Red Sea. I'm talking about took all of them out. How many of them was? 600. The deep waters gushed over them. They sank to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, is glorious in power. Your right hand, O Lord, smashes the enemy. In the greatness of your majesty, you overthrow those who rise against you. You unleash your blazing fury, it consumes them like straw. At the blast of your breath, the waters piled up. The surging waters stood straight like a wall. In the heart of the sea, the deep waters became hard. The enemy boasted, I will chase them and catch up with them. I will plunder them and consume them. I will flash my sword. My powerful hand will destroy them. But you blew with your breath, and the sea covered them. They sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you among the gods, O Lord, glorious in holiness, awesome in splendor, performing great wonders? You raised your right hand, and the earth swallowed our enemies. With your unfailing love, you lead the people you have redeemed. In your might, you guide them to your sacred home. The peoples hear and tremble. Anguish grips those who live in Philistia. The leaders of Edom are terrified. The nobles of Moab tremble. All who live in Canaan melt away. Terror and dread fall upon them. The power of your arm makes them lifeless as stone until your people pass by, O Lord, until the people you purchased pass by. You will bring them back. Wait, you will bring them in and plant them on your own mountain, the place, O Lord, reserved for your own dwelling, the sanctuary, O Lord, that your hands have established. The Lord will reign forever and ever. Okay. When Pharaoh's horses, chariots, and charioteers rushed into the sea, the Lord brought the water crashing down on them. But the people of Israel had walked through the middle of the sea on dry ground. Then Miriam the prophet, Aaron's sister, took a tambourine and led all the women as they played their tambourines and danced. And Miriam sang this song. Message. Y'all, y'all are so foolish. Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. He has hurled both horse and rider into the sea. Child, they start talking about, good morning, cherry cake. Like the here go. Look, I'ma sing my song. You better sing it. Y'all better sing it, child. Because I'm talking about, first of all, the Lord then delivered y'all. Y'all wealthy. Y'all done stripped the Egyptians of their wealth. So not only are you you no longer free, but now you also been, they done stripped you of, like you got all their resources, and you didn't walk through, and all of them then went to glory, Lord. You better be, look, bitter water at Mara. Uh-oh. I don't remember this story, y'all. If you knew, welcome. Let me just told y'all. It'd be like I'm reading the word for the first time. I ain't lying. Like I even though I have read the book of Exodus, this is like me reading the first time. Okay, message. Just saying. Okay, well, come on, no transaction fee. We received that. Look, that's talking about my ClariTEA Tarot and Oracle cards. You can purchase those on Etsy, and also on the in my YouTube shop. I'm gonna have to go back and read that. Shout out Etsy. Bitter water at Mara. Then Moses led the people of Israel away from the Red Sea, and they moved out into the desert of Shur. They traveled in this desert for 3 days without finding any water. It's a lot of 3 days in this thing. I'm talking about 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days hence, 3 days from now. When they came to the oasis of Mara, the water was too bitter to drink. So they called the place Mara, which means bitter. Then the people complained. Here we go. Y'all, who are these Israelites? These Israelites. I know we the new generation. We be like that too, but I'm just saying, Then the people complained and turned against Moses. What are we going to drink? They demanded. So Moses cried out to the Lord for help, and the Lord showed him a piece of wood. Moses threw it into the water, and this made the water good to drink. It was there at Marah that the Lord set before them the following decree as a standard to test their faithfulness to him. He said, if you will listen carefully to the voice of the Lord your God and do what is right in his sight, obeying his commands and keeping all his decrees, then I will not make you suffer any of the diseases I sent on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you. After leaving Mara, the Israelites traveled. So all we got to do is listen and obey. Hey, dearest one, good morning. All we got to do is listen and obey. That's it. Sound easy though, don't it? How many times I know that I was just saying sometimes I might be a little disobedient in this, but I be getting myself back into get my spirituals in order. But I was just saying, anyway, y'all be disobedient sometimes. I do, but then he get me right, and then I be like, I'm sorry, Daddy. But you be forgiving me though. So thank you. I appreciate you. Love you with my whole heart. After leaving Mara, the Israelites traveled on to the oasis of Elim, where they found 12 springs and 70 palm trees. They camped there beside the water. The 12 tribes of Joseph, of the 12 tribes, and then there was 70, wasn't it 70 people them that went to Egypt? Jacob family, yep, and his 12. I'm telling you, them numbers 312 and 70. Let's talk about this manna. Now, let me tell y'all, I have a personal relationship with manna and quail from heaven because as I've been in here in my own wilderness season, when I tell you the Lord will provide, he will provide. He will provide manna and quail all the time. He will do it. Okay. So let's talk about it. Manna and quail from heaven. Look at these resources. Now he done threw a piece of wood into the water that cleansed it, and now they can drink manna and quail from heaven. What is it? We finna find out. Then the whole community of Israel set out from Elim and journeyed into the wilderness of Sin. Child, we already know. What who do it though? We already know it's gonna be bad. It's called sin. I'm just saying. You already know somebody finna sin if that's the name of it. I was just saying between Elim and Mount Sinai. They arrived there on the 15th day of the second month, 1 month after leaving the land of Egypt. There too, the whole community of Israel complained about Moses and Aaron. So everywhere we go, we got a complaint. Everywhere we go, we got something to say. They keep on turning against Moses and Aaron, and all they doing is doing what the Lord had told them to do. Now, how uno momento, spirit them, ancestor them, Israelites them. Y'all was just singing the song of deliverance. That didn't last long. Y'all sure must not have sang long. It was just that one night. Y'all just started cutting up. You then just the you then got out the water good from walking through the Red Sea, and y'all done back complaint. Y'all done complained 2 times in 2 paragraphs. Child, listen, I don't be that bad, Dad. I don't be that bad. And can't nobody, I don't be that bad, y'all, when I be complaining. If only the Lord had killed us, y'all some. If only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt, they moaned. There we sat around pots filled with meat and ate all the bread we wanted. But now you have brought us into this wilderness to starve us all to death. So now you ain't happy no more. You was just singing the song of being delivered. The Lord is a warrior. Yahweh is his name. Okay. Now you talking about you would rather go back. That I think I had that experience this morning, didn't it? Ain't nobody going back. Then the Lord said to Moses, look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. Each day, the people can go out and pick up as much food as they need for that day. I will test them. Okay, then the Lord said to Moses, look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. Each day, the people can go out and pick up as much food as they need for that day. Okay, for that day. I will test them in this to see whether or not they will follow my instructions. On the 6th day, They will gather food, and when they prepare it, there will be twice as much as usual. So Moses and Aaron said to all the people of Israel, by evening, you will realize it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. In the morning, you will see the glory of the Lord because he has heard your complaints, which are against him, not us. We ain't do it. Y'all complaining about us. We just doing what the Lord has said. Y'all griping and complaining against the Lord. Now what you got to say? What have we done that you should complain about us? Then told you. Then Moses added, the Lord will give you meat to eat in the evening and bread to satisfy you in the morning, for he has heard all your complaints against him. What have we done? Yes, your complaints are against the Lord, not us. Then Moses said to Aaron, announce this to the entire community of Israel. Present yourselves before the Lord, for he has heard your complaining. And as Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israel, they looked out toward the wilderness. There they could see the awesome glory of the Lord in the cloud. Then the Lord said to Moses, I have heard the Israelites' complaints. Now tell them, in the evening you will have meat to eat, and in the morning you will have all the bread you want. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God. That evening, vast numbers of quail flew in and covered the camp. And the next morning, the area around the camp was wet with dew. When the dew evaporated, a flaky substance as fine as frost blanketed the ground. This is the Israelites were puzzled when they saw it. What is it? They asked each other. They had no idea what it was. And Moses told them, it is the food the Lord has given you to eat. These are the Lord's instructions. Each household should gather as much as it needs. Pick up 2 quarts for each person in your tent. What y'all reckon manna tastes like? Chicken? No, it don't taste like no chicken. I imagine it tastes like what tastes best. What it tastes like? Maybe like oat, like honey, like wafers. What y'all reckon? I don't know. I bet it's good. Hello, honey one. How are you doing, dearest one? So the people of Israel did as they were told. Some gathered a lot, some only a little. But when they measured it out, everyone had just enough. Those who gathered a lot had nothing left over, and those who gathered only a little had enough. Each family had just what it needed. Cause ain't that like the Lord? He gonna give you just what you need. Okay. Then Moses told them, do not keep any of it until morning. But some of them didn't listen, of course, because we not gonna always listen, and kept some of it until morning. But by then it was full of maggots and had a terrible smell. Look, you could have left the maggots out. Good morning, dearest one. Fantastic, fantastic. How are you this morning? After this, the people gathered the food morning by morning, each family according to its needs. And as the sun became hot, the flakes they did had not picked up melted and disappeared. On the 6th day, they gathered twice as much as usual, 4 quarts for each person instead of two. Then all the leaders of the community came and asked Moses for an explanation. He told them, this is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow will be a day of complete rest, a holy Sabbath day set apart for the Lord. So bake or boil as much as you want today and set aside what is left for tomorrow. Do y'all take a Sabbath day? Do y'all take a rest day? I was, and then I stopped, and then Padre God had got in my spirituals about it. And so I had to start back. So Saturdays are my day of rest, but I still be doing stuff. Daddy, don't be mad. I be doing right. I be just talking to the people now. Like I don't be doing a lot, but just saying, make sure you taking your time out to rest. It is important on this, okay? So they put some aside until morning, just as Moses had commanded. And in the morning, the leftover food was wholesome and good without maggots or odor. Moses said, eat this food today, for today is a Sabbath day dedicated to the Lord. There will be no food on the ground today. You may gather the food for 6 days, but the seventh day is the Sabbath. There will be no food on the ground that day. So work for 6 and rest for 1. Some of the people went out anyway. Why y'all so hard headed, spirit them ancestor Israelites, them? They is hard headed, ain't it? Hello, dearest one. Some of the people went out anyway on the seventh day, but they found no food. The Lord asked Moses, how long will these people refuse to obey my commands and instructions? They must realize that the Sabbath is the Lord's gift to you. So see that last day, we gonna rest, Daddy. We gonna, because you done gave us this gift of rest. We gonna do it. That is why he gives you a 2-day supply on the sixth day. So there will be enough for 2 days. On the Sabbath day, you must each stay in your place. Do not go out to pick up food on the seventh day. So the people did not gather any food on the seventh day. The Israelites, Daddy say, what you say, Daddy? How long? How long before y'all stop this? Before y'all stop being hard headed? We ain't stopped yet, is it? No, we still be hard headed and not doing what Patrick God and told us to do. We be listening most of the time. We be listening, child. The Israelites called the food manna. It was white like coriander seed and it tasted like honey wafers. Okay. Then Moses said, this is what the Lord has commanded. Fill a 2-quart container with manna to preserve it for your descendants. Then later generations will be able to see the food I gave you in the wilderness when I set you free from Egypt. Would that be an amazing discovery? If people discovered like this quart of this 2-quart, was it 2 quarts of manna, this container of manna, because it would last for all time because the Lord said so. Wouldn't that be an amazing discovery if someone just came across that? Moses said to Aaron, get a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna, then put it in a sacred place before the Lord to preserve it for all future generations. Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He eventually placed it in the Ark of the Covenant in front of the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant. So the people of Israel ate manna for 40 years. 40 years. Y'all, they about knew how to. It's kind of like me and tuna, huh? I know every child, the things that I didn't experimented and learned how to do with some tuna. Yeah, they probably knew how to cook this I'm talking about what? You ate the same thing for 40 years? Baby, it wasn't not now way they didn't know how to cook this manna. Did they fry? They was frying the child. They probably, I don't know. They had to do something with it, baby, because for 40 years, y'all was in the wilderness for so long. Lord, oh my goodness, that was so long, Lord. 40 years. That's a long time. Until they arrived at the land where they would settle. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. The container used to measure the manna was an omer, which was 1/10 of an ephah. It held about 2 quarts. The end. Was that 2 chapters? Didn't even seem like it. Okay. Whoo, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Look, it don't take long, 15 minutes a day, and you can get through 2 chapters of the word. True story. Let's talk about stress. And then we gonna see what kind of manna from heaven the Lord is going to provide us. Because I feel like that is so important on this. Even though we be complaining, child, the Lord still comes through with gifts. The Israelites didn't really want to be back in Egypt. After all, they had been slaves there. They just wanted life to be a little. Daddy, I do believe that you talking to me this morning. Because this is literally what I lit out my mouth, y'all. I literally said this morning. Thank you, I receive it. The Israelites didn't really want to be back in Egypt. After all, they had been slaves there. They just wanted life to be a little easier. In the pressure of the moment, they could not see the cause of their stress. In this case, lack of trust in God. Instead, they longed for a quick escape and complained to each other about their problems. When pressure comes your way, resist the temptation to look for an easy way out or to complain to those around you. Instead, focus on God's power and wisdom to help you deal with the situation at hand, because his timing is perfect and it's going to happen in his timing and not before. And that was the answer he gave me this morning. It's just like, man, because you can't rush it. It's not going to come any quicker than he decrees it to come. So you just got to wait on it. Just got to wait on provision. But he's still going to provide, regardless of how long it takes. He's still going to provide for you. God's provision came to the people with clear instructions for gathering and distributing the miraculous manna. Each family was to collect just enough for their daily needs. When out of greed or concern for the future, they tried to hoard it. The manna spoiled and they went hungry. God has supplied the earth with lavish and abundant resources for food, yet much of the world is starving. What instructions has God given us that affect our own needs and the needs of others? Consider how you could help meet another's needs by re examining your use of the resources God has placed at your disposal. Y'all know I'm all about resources, and even if you don't have like money to give, you can always give time, effort, energy. There's always a way to be a blessing to someone else, right? So I'm just saying, how can you be a blessing to someone else? I think as we tap in with spirit guides, ancestors, angels, and ascended masters this morning, we're gonna be looking at that in the vein of like what is God getting ready to provide us? What is He helping us to move on from? What is the provision that He's getting ready to bring us into our lives? What is it that we're getting ready to receive, what He's getting ready to do for us? So look, we had that card yesterday. So let's do it. Let's get to it. We tapping in. Let's see what the word is, what this morning's message is all about. Y'all like the live, share the love. I hope this was helpful. Make sure that you go and read this for yourself. See what additional revelation is going to come to you from this. The one thing that I know is that if you don't see yourself as these Israelites, I don't know what to tell you. I definitely know that the Lord will provide. Okay. He is going to provide everything that we need in the timing that we need it. Okay. So let's do it. Let's see what the message is for this morning, what we need to know. What y'all said? Child, yeah, because sometimes it seems like that provision is slow to come, but it's coming. You just got to believe it. Here we go. What we need to know this morning. Tink. Let's do it. Look, I said that. Moving on. What are you moving on